today, this is your host, Natalie.
Yeah.
Co-host, Kevin. Special guest is
our white-lipped python, who does not have a name yet.
Yeah, so if you guys have a name
suggestions, let
us know in the comments.
Yes, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
So what's up, guys? Today is going to be a good one. Today we are introducing one of the most beautiful snakes that Natalie and I have, our white-lipped python.
Yeah, you guys can almost see she has a white lip.
Yep.
See it?
Yep, and we're going to show them like all the beautiful pictures of them, but how beautiful is she?
Beautiful.
That is one beautiful snake. But you guys may have seen some of our videos or our shorts of her. We've posted a few throughout, and on our social media pages we've shown her. However, today is the grand introduction care video for the white-lipped python. As always, guys, we are going to go over some basic and cool facts about the white-lipped python, their enclosure, and diet.
Yep.
As always.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna get into that, but it is incredible how small she is now compared to how big they get.
Mm-hmm.
She's long and lanky.
Yeah. Look how long that tail is.
She's one of the longest baby snakes I've ever seen. All right, ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Let's get into it. So there are a few different species of white-lipped pythons. However, the two most common that you will see are the northern and southern.
Yeah.
This little girl here is which? Northern white-lipped python. Exactly right. And although there are some physical difference between the two, the care is the exact same.
Yeah.
And we'll go over a little more of the appearance differences in their appearance. So these beautiful little pythons come from New Guinea and the surrounding islands. Remember we already did New Guinea in our coolest reptile series?
Yeah.
We should have added white-lipped pythons to that. They are a relatively large semi-arboreal snake, which, depending on northern, southern, male, and female, can get up to 7 to 10 feet. Females actually get larger than males, and this one, she's a girl.
Yep.
She's a little girl. And they can also live up to 30 years. A 30-year-old snake. That's a long-living snake.
30 years?
30 years. Crazy. They are a very active snake that is crepuscular.
Yep, and guys, guess what?
What?
She never ate before, but now, guess what? Daddy got to feed her 2 times and she ate.
Exactly, and we're going to get a little more into that. But do you remember what crepuscular means? It means they're mostly active during right before
nighttime.
Night, so dusk and dawn, right?
If we turn the lights off, they can be like...
She's a little more active.
Yeah, she does this.
We will get more into this throughout her care, but this is definitely not a beginner snake. We'll explain why throughout, but this is definitely more of a intermediate or advanced type of snake.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the same level as like Brazilian rainbow boas. That same level of care.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about their care? Is their care easy or hard? Easy?
Yeah.
Personally, I would say any snake that will not eat if your husbandries aren't on point is an intermediate or advanced snake. And white-lipped python and rainbow boas definitely fit into that category.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you can be slightly off with like a BCC or BCI,
Yeah.
and they'll still usually give you...
What is a BCE and BCI?
Remember?
No.
Boa constrictor, boa constrictor, and pettitor. Remember when we did Aurora?
I do not know what that thing is.
But those are a type of snake that usually if your husbandries are slightly off, they'll still give you no issues eating whatsoever. But with things like white-lipped pythons, Brazilian rainbow boas, if you don't have enough hides, if your humidity is off, if your temperatures are off, they're going to give you issues. Well, you are going to give them issues eating.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get into the coolest part of white-lipped pythons. Their appearance. What do you like the most about her?
I think that she is beautiful and very nice.
I think so too. Very beautiful snake.
Yeah, look at, guys, you might be able to see that head.
The white lip, yeah.
Look at that head. Look at that iridescence.
She's like a slinky.
Look at that iridescence.
The iridescence. One of the first things, like you just said, you will notice about this beautiful snake is the iridescence. I would say her iridescence in the sun is as noticeable as Mr. Mars, the Brazilian rainbow boa.
Yeah.
I would say like that prominent.
You might think that if they eat one time, if they don't eat one time, that might be a problem, but if they don't eat ever, that would be a huge and big problem.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah.
But they have a very beautiful, like jet black head with, as where they get their names, the white lips, which is like a beautiful contrast to the white lips compared to her jet black head.
Yeah, look at those. You might not see those white lips.
But it almost looks like she's wearing white lipstick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you put white lipstick on a snake.
Yeah.
One of the only differences between the northern and the southern is the body color. Both the northern and the southern are both absolutely gorgeous snakes.
Yeah.
But as you can see here with her, as juveniles and babies, they have this like grayish olive color to them. But as they become adults, they take on more of like a bronze or golden color, which is really pretty.
Yeah, that is a beautiful snake.
It is. The southern white-lipped python is a little drabber in color to me personally, but still have that beautiful iridescence.
Yeah.
All in all, both the southern and the northern make absolutely amazing display snakes.
Yeah.
But do they make good snakes to interact with? No?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
White-lipped pythons are not a very popular snake. You don't see many people with them. And a lot of people say it's because they have a reputation of being nippy as babies. But I mean, you can really say that of any baby snake, or kind of nippy, because they have to be. If I was this tiny little worm-like thing and everything around me was trying to eat me, and my only way of defending myself was with a little nip, I'd be kind of nippy too.
But if it's you try to grab me like this, I'll be...
Yeah, I'd give you a little nip. Now, although they can be nippy as babies and juveniles like her here, just like any other snake, as they get older with consistent handling, they can tame right down. But what do you think of her temperament? Like, is she a good snake to handle?
Yes.
This little girl here is still pretty flighty. Like, she will do whatever she can to wiggle away from you when you first get her out. But she is a sweetheart. She's given me a couple bluff strikes where she'll tap my hand. When I go in to get her, she'll like tap my hand with her nose without opening her mouth. She gives me these like little bluff strikes.
It's really...
But never with her mouth open. No teeth. She's been great.
I never see your teeth before.
A couple other things to keep in mind is they can musk on you.
Yeah.
They are incredibly strong for their size, just like a Brazilian rainbow boa, and they are pretty darn quick for a snake.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. I wouldn't say anywhere near as quick as Kai.
Yeah.
Kai is the fastest snake I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Two things to keep in mind with white-lipped pythons is one, an overwhelming majority of them on the market today are wild caught. And this can cause concerns with like eating, diseases, and temperament being wild caught. And number two, they are not a dangerous snake. However, a bite from a full-grown 7-foot long python is gonna hurt. And it can definitely happen. Oh, you good? So Natalie and I would definitely recommend supervision if you let them interact with a child. Right?
Yeah.
And now on to the most important part.
Enclosure.
Enclosure. As we had mentioned, they are a very active, semi-arboreal, and fairly large snake, so they need a lot of room in their enclosure. We would recommend, at the very least, something at least 5 feet long and 3 feet high to let them be semi-arboreal. So they have plenty of room to climb and stretch out, right?
Yeah.
They also require a pretty high humidity, so we wouldn't recommend your typical glass enclosures with like the mesh screen top,
Yeah.
because that allows humidity to escape. You are also going to want a substrate that's good for holding in humidity. Cocoa husk, eco earth, or coconut fiber. Those are all good substrate, and that's what we have her on, right?
Yeah, that's what we have her on.
Her substrate. Mixing in and scattering in some sphagnum moss can also help out with the humidity.
Yeah.
The humidity in the enclosure should be between 60 and 80%, which is pretty high.
Yes.
So to help things out, you can also add in a humidity hide. You remember how to make those? Our humidity hides?
You just take a little bin, you put some moss in there, and then you spray it down.
You are exactly right.
And then you put the lid on, and then you have to make a hole, and then put tape on it so they don't get scratched.
Or cut themselves. You are exactly right, little Miss Smarty Pants. You will also want to add a couple hides to that. One on the warm end, one on the cool end, and you can even do a arboreal hide.
Yep.
Make them feel safe.
Yeah.
You will also need a large and heavy water bowl.
Oh.
Big enough for them to submerge their entire body in, and obviously not to be able to tip it over. You're going to want to put that on the warm end because that will help out with humidity as well.
Yeah, that.
Evaporation. As always, when talking about high humidity, it makes it that much more important to keep their enclosure clean because they're susceptible to scale rot and respiratory infections because of the bacteria in the humidity. She also likes to poop in her water bowl, so
Yeah,
keep that clean too.
Yeah, you have to check it's poop.
Oh, she pooped in it.
Yeah.
Being semi-arboreal, they're also going to need branches throughout for them to climb around on, leaf and plant litter and clutter to go around the enclosure for them to slither through. Oh, is that my hair?
No, that
Gross!
that is Wiley's whisker.
Riley's whisker? Probably is. And those plants and leaf litter will also help out with enrichment. And on to our final part of the enclosure.
Heating and lighting.
Heating and lighting. With a snake that's going to spend a lot of time up off the ground and on the ground, most people will tell you to include both a heat mat and heat tape and a heat lamp or ceramic heat emitter.
And
Both.
both.
But both of those would go on the warm end, right? And what do we always say about heat mats and heat tape? They go on the bottom, not inside the enclosure, and always get a thermostat with it.
That is a heating pad. It goes like under the tank.
Exactly.
But it has to be where the hiding spot is.
Right, and always get a thermostat with it.
Yep.
White-lipped pythons should have a hot side anywhere between 88 and 92 degrees, a cool side of 80 to 85 degrees, and a nighttime temperature in the high 70s. That's a bit warmer than most people keep their house at night, so you may want to include a heat mat or heat tape to help out with those nighttime temperatures. I know our house ain't that warm. I'm sure you guys have heard it before, but don't use the red light heat lamps at night to keep those temperatures. If anything, they make ceramic heat emitters that don't emit that red light. Use that instead. Do you know why no red bulbs? Because they can still see that, and it basically gives them absolutely no day and night cycle. All right, and finally on to diet. In the wild, white-lipped pythons will eat a variety of rodents and bird chicks. Most people in captivity, bird chicks. Most people in captivity will keep them entirely on rodents. However, it's good to offer variety, and it's good to give them both, bird chicks and rodents.
They should eat mouses, not rodents.
rodents are mouses.
No.
Most have a very high food drive. As we had mentioned, as long as your husbandries are on point, they should give you no issues whatsoever eating. Babies and juveniles will eat once a week. As adults, they'll start to eat every 2 weeks. Gotta have that extra oomph when you're growing, right?
Yeah.
You need extra food.
Yeah, so you can be like Hulk.
Big and strong.
Like a strong lion.
Oh my God, you got bigger muscles than me.
Like the young muscles.
Puny. And the rodent or chicks that you're feeding them should never be bigger than the thickest part of their body. Which can be difficult, especially like babies here, is we had to do a lot of searching for pinky mice that would be good for her because they are just so long and slender. But we found them. Alright guys, and that does it for the beautiful white-lipped python.
Yep, she is beautiful.
So if you guys found this video informative or just enjoyed it, make sure to leave us a like and consider subscribing for more of our awesome reptile content.
And see you on
Wednesday.
Bye guys.
Bye guys.